Have you ever wondered which technique is the most powerful for manifesting? If so, keep listening. In this video, I will share two personal stories about one of the most significant manifestations of my life and how it might inspire you in your own journey of manifesting or co creating your reality. My intention with this video is to help you feel inspired and believe that you too can achieve whatever it is you truly desire. And if something I say doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Stay curious and ask yourself why. Before we continue, hi, my name is Barchi, and I help people recognize their limiting beliefs so that they can step into the role of being creators in their own lives. So, whatever is in the way, let's get rid of that and go towards what you want. If you would like to work with me, you'll find the link in the description box. But let's continue. I've been thinking about how to share these stories with you. One of them happened over 20 years ago, back when spirituality, mindfulness, and all these ideas weren't as mainstream as they are today. And I'm so glad that they are. But back then, I was very careful about how I expressed myself and what I shared with others. Even now, it feels a little vulnerable to open up. I'm not going to lie. I actually Even now, it feels a little vulnerable to open up about these experiences, even though, as you'll see, the stories themselves aren't all that dramatic, but they hold something meaningful. So let's dive in. So, the first story marks the beginning of my journey into self development and a more holistic view of medicine, psychology, and so on. It happened in my early 20s when one day I experienced a mysterious and severe back pain. Not only was the pain excruciating, but I also lost feeling in part of my leg. And if you've ever been in a situation where you felt desperate or in pain, you know that feeling, right? You're willing to try anything to find relief. So that's exactly where I was. After consulting several doctors who couldn't help me, I decided to explore alternatives like acupuncture and other forms of treatment. But the real shift happens when two key things occurred. First, my GP told me that I would likely have to live with the pain for the rest of my life. And I remember thinking, wait a second, I'm only 22. Like, this cannot be my reality. And something inside me just refused to accept that as the truth. And not long after, I wandered into this fascinating little store filled with gemstones and all these kinds of magic. You know what I'm talking about? And the owner mentioned a book by Dr. John Sarno. I don't know the exact title. I'll probably link it somewhere or put a picture up. So that book completely changed my perspective. It explained how my emotions could be directly linked to my pain. And it wasn't just about addressing the physical aspect. I had to believe that healing was possible. I had to start living as though I were healthy even before my pain subsided. And a disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional, and this isn't advice for treating or healing your body. Your health is your responsibility. My intention here is to inspire you to open your mind and reclaim your sense of power. That decision to believe in a different reality changed my life forever. Over time, the pain disappeared. I think it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks. And I've been able to do everything the doctor said I wouldn't. So, like running, swimming, yoga, and so much more. And I have been pain-free since. Okay, let's jump to the second story. This one is about one of the biggest changes in my life, moving to another country. I don't know if you have experienced that or is it something that you want to, but watch or listen further. I'm originally from Europe, and I've always had this deep desire to live abroad. And for those into astrology, my sun sign is in the ninth house, which reflects that longing for adventure and exploration. But the journey wasn't quick or straightforward, not at all. While I dreamed of moving in my 20s, Australia was my ultimate goal at that time. It wasn't until my 30s that I finally took the leap. So it took me a while. And life, however, had other plans, as you know, it happens. So instead of Australia, I ended up in Canada. I know it's kind of not in the same direction, but I completely fell in love with people here. But I have to share this. Once I arrived, it wasn't all smooth sailing, not at all. I went back and forth. So from Canada, I went back to Europe and then to another European country, back to Canada, and even to a different province that didn't feel right. And finally, I settled in Vancouver, which I now call home. I love it here. What this journey taught me is the power of clarity. When I wasn't clear on what I wanted, I felt like I was just floating around, like a leaf in the wind, moving from one place to another without a real sense of direction. And, also not having this anchor that would just keep me in one place. But the moment I decided what I truly wanted, opportunities and doors began to open almost effortlessly. And I remember when I first set eyes on the location where I live now, in my mind, I was thinking, oh my God, I would love to live here. And then a year later, actually, less than a year later, I would move here. So here is a takeaway for you. Pay attention to what you're clear about in your life. When you align with your desires, things start falling into place. It's always like that. Okay, what do these two stories have in common? In both, there was an unwavering conviction about what I wanted, and I wasn't willing to back down. In both cases, I had to persevere. The results didn't happen overnight, and they required me to stay committed even when things weren't happening as quickly as I hoped. And life sometimes, takes a moment or two. And that said, I do believe things shift faster when we are in alignment and riding the momentum. Know that in the physical world, there is always a delay between your thought and its manifestation. It's just how it is. And that's why it's so important to hold your vision and act as if it's already done, and the rest will follow. And here's something to think about. Your manifestation wants you to. Otherwise, why would you even have this idea and strong pull? On some level, it's already done. So start behaving as if it's done. This step is crucial, and I cannot emphasize it enough. I will probably just repeat it in all my videos until, yeah, it really sinks in. So the real power lies in your ability to shift your mindset. And no one can do that for you, which is actually a good news because you have the power or it's all in your hands. Okay, tell me, what would it take for you to make that shift in your life? I've covered the conditions and ways to support yourself during this transition in other videos, so I'll end this one here. If you have any questions or need guidance, let me know in the comments. I would love to help. And I would love to hear your thoughts if this video resonated with you. I appreciate if you like, subscribe, or to support this channel and help spread these ideas. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.